Hi there, this is Chris from MoneyHub, and this is a quick overview of our comprehensive power comparison guide. So, just as a background, we are the only comparison tool within New Zealand to have a spreadsheet you can download. The rest of the tools, which you can see online, I won't name them. There's nothing wrong with them. I'm not saying anything negative about them, but they use a kind of a system where you plug in the address that you want to compare power for, and then they give you the prices based on their calculations. There is a separate video which I've linked down below, which shows you how those prices do differ, which we can't really understand, but that's not our business, so we don't really have anything to do with that. What the focus here is just to walk you through this guide. So starting up, we've got a nice summary here. We're saying that we're the first of its kind to be able to do this. We've all used the inclusive meters. That's a really important point. So the prices that you get if you don't have an inclusive meter will be different. Plus, we do update this twice a year. We update this in April and we update this in October. So if you are pricing it, and you don't have like an inclusive meter or something like that, you will get different prices. But for most people, this should be a quite helpful guide. We are not huge fans of how electricity is priced in New Zealand. It's really, really confusing. To be able to put this work together, we've done about 2 iterations of it. I say about two because there was a version 1, then we took a lot of feedback and thought about it a lot, and then we decided to bring out this new version with simpler tables and faster updates for us. So it is not easy. It is convoluted in the way that all the electricity companies put their prices, some without GST, some with GST, to extract it. Some of it's smoke and mirrors. You have to sort of ask for prices from some people. It is very strange, but we wanted to do the most comprehensive guide we could, and this is the result. If you do have any comments on it, please always let us know because we want to constantly improve it. So why are there so many tools? We do have a concern with, the results. It's nothing to do with the companies themselves, but we just wanted to bring out a spreadsheet and a methodology that was accepted by the power companies that we talk to, the regulators and the government agencies, which has been done. And basically, we're looking at the daily rates and we're looking at the kilowatt unit charges for 5 different cities, and then we're making comparisons based on that. We're using the average standard user kilowatt hours per year, and that's hopefully going to give you sort of accurate prices, which you can use for your own comparison. The most important thing is, though, please do your own comparisons before switching or anything like that or signing up, because whilst our prices are really, really accurate for the 2 months that we've done it, if some things do change, we're not expecting them to, but if they do between that, then there can be slight variances. So we just want we've put all the links down below to make it really easy, which I'll take you through in a second. But it really it's critical that you do put in the work to get your own quotes, to be happy. And also most electricity providers sign you up once you've done a quote. So at least you'll be able to have jumped that step. Now, I've made some comments here just with regards to how confusing it is, and we just think that there's a lot of people out there paying possibly too much, and we just want to make that simpler, especially as costs go up and everything else. We just think there's a much better way to do this. Let's do it, and let's make it as transparent as possible. So that's my summary there. There was a staff article I wrote, and then from there, why does it cost so much? Basically, we are relying on hydroelectric plants, but at the same time, we also have weather patterns which throw it around. So if there's a drought, if there's floods, there's all sorts of things. Like you would think floods wouldn't cause problems with pricing, but they do. So, there's a whole bunch of information here that's worth reading. And also, it's, we break up what causes your power bill to be what it is, i.e., what the components are. And as I previously said, it's a fixed daily charge plus a variable charge, plus you'll also pay a levy as well, plus GST. So there's a lot of things which go into it. You can see that here. And then from generating the power, like the power cost itself, that's one component, but there's also the transmission charges, which is the distribution. There's the retail company, which is going to be selling it to you. There's the grid that needs to be maintained. There's regulation costs that need to be, taken into. They don't seem to sort of get caught by the tax man. So a whole bunch of things there. And that's why electricity, for the most part, is pretty, it's pretty comparable in that sense, because the final price is what you get. It's not a standard product it's not a product which has too many variances. But it really comes down to choosing a provider that you feel comfortable with, choosing a provider that you like the billing arrangement of, that you can utilize the discounts if they offer them, things like that. So please read through this carefully. There's a whole bunch of factors are happening. Now, if I just go straight down to the guide, which I think is really what we want to be looking at. What we've done is stated here for your comparison. The price that's going to be the best is going to depend on where you live, how much you use, and we've looked at 5 cities, and we've looked at the average kilowatt per city for the standard users. We've got 20 plus plans from about 13, 14 power companies, and we've looked at fixed plans, so like a fixed contract, and we've looked at open plans as well. So of course, if you're renting, or if you're not sure where you're going to be in 12 months, then fixed plans are a little bit more risky, whereas open plans give you that flexibility. So lots of discounts available. We've asked the providers to really sort of be transparent as possible, and we've written to them and said, can you please, because we know that lots of people quote, and we just want people to be able to do it really easily. So hopefully, things will change with that sense. In the meantime, we've linked a whole bunch of links down there, so you can go straight in to do the pricing. We've done a separate video, which I've also linked down below, to show you how that pricing is done and how you can use an address to get some data there. Now, if I just go through one example, and this is the Auckland. Of course, when you're seeing this video, like, it may not be October 2022. We keep rolling it forward as the time goes on, but we've made it really, really clear that we've used the suggested consumption, which is 9108 kilowatts, and we've got the provider there. We've got the annual charge estimate. We've got the contract, like whether or not it's fixed term or open, and then if it is fixed, we've said the dates, and then if it's a discount which is applied, then you can see what discount that is, and then you can go to the retailer accordingly, or you can do your own comparisons, which we strongly suggest you still do. So, and we've also done it, as I said, for Hamilton, we've done it for Christchurch, and then we've also done it for Dunedin. Those cities kind of cover the most of New Zealand. Of course, we've missed out Napier, we've missed out Tauranga and other great cities, but for now we're comfortable with this approach because we just want people comparing. So that's the summary really of where we're at. You've really got to, like, we suggest that people shortlist 3 to 5 providers and then try and get the best deal. So we've got, the best way to do it is just download this spreadsheet here, and which is a separate spreadsheet, and then you can, find your best provider, and then make sure that you are using the right numbers, because of course some of them exclude GST, some of them include some of them include GST, and then confirm the price when you switch. And when you do, you should get something like this, which is going to give you a quote reference. This is just one example, and then it's going to show you like what your daily charge is and what your levy is, and then what your unit for your inclusive is. So that's how that works, which is very, very helpful. And once that's locked in, then you can see here it's a residential 2 or 3 years plan, but it may be an open plan. They'll still give you these things, so you know exactly what things will cost. Some people ask us a whole bunch of questions, so we've put together a frequently asked questions section, which I suggest having a read through. It talks about load plans. It talks about what the best power plan is for someone's home, switching. We're going to create a separate video for that too, which you'll see soon. And then what the average power bills are, what's the difference between kilowatts and kilowatt hours. All these things so ICP numbers. So thank you very much for watching. The point of this video is really to get people to like shortlist, see what's available, look at our methodology and the other videos on this guide, which are put there to help people, make better decisions. And then from there, compare and get your own quotes, and then choose a provider that you can feel comfortable switching to and save money, because you can see, and certainly I don't want to name names, but you can see here that there is a big spread between, if I look at this for Auckland, we can see, we've got sort of in the 2000, I mean, these are fixed ones, but like in the open plans, we've got 2000, about 400, and then they go right down to about 3,100 or 3,000 or 2,900. So there's a big difference there, $500, $400, just based on the same electricity being used, which is, 40, $50 per month, which is, it's a big cost for the same thing where you won't notice the difference. So thank you very much. If you do have any comments or questions or anything like that, please leave them in the comments below. You can also write to us. You can find us on the contact form from the MoneyHub website. And yeah, we're very responsive on all every comments that are made, because we want to make sure that the guides are as comprehensive as possible, and we always update them when we see something to improve. Thank you so much, and let us know if you have any questions.